Hey you, do you like watching mental breakdowns, aka still staying on Twitter despite everything that's happened? Well, worry not, because I've got just the show for you. The amazing digital circus. So for those of you that haven't seen the show, first of all, hi, welcome to the internet. But basically what the show boils down to is a whole group of humans are stuck in this digital world. And there's this AI called Kane, who is the ringmaster and forces them to go on a bunch of adventures. But the humans don't exactly like this as much, so they cope in whatever way they can before they become completely insane. And if you ask me who my favorite character is, it's in between Kinger and Bubble. And both of them for very different reasons. I mean, Kinger is just Kinger. I mean, look at him. He's amazing. But also there is Bubble. But I don't like Bubble because of who he is right now. I like Bubble because of what he could be in the future. And aside from all these out-of-context clips on YouTube, there's not really a lot of talk going on about Bubble. And I thought Game Theory was going to eventually pick up on this, but once I realized that all they're doing is reading a bunch of lore books, I think I'm probably safe.
But not only did he read every FNAF novel, he also read every single Hello Neighbor book. Yeah.
Or at least it was Game Theory that did all that stuff, but I was supposed to be worried about Film Theory, which coincidentally, while I'm editing this video, they so happen to release a new theory about this show.
Crocodile LARP submissive AI Omni eating Kane.
Wow, that was definitely a very good video and not stressful at all. Hey, let's go ahead and talk about why Bubble is going to be very pivotal towards the show. So as a quick recap, Bubble is supposed to be Kane's assistant, where he goes around and hypes everyone up for the show. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and grade Bubble's performance. There are 4 very notable clips that we should use, and let's go through them one by one, starting with the most digestible one.
Do you like adventure, activity, wonder, danger, horror, pain, suffering, pain, death, disease, death, angel food cake? Ow! You parasite!
Now, for those of you that say that this is absolutely based, you are correct, but we gotta look at this objectively, though. To make a short story short, Kane is I mean, this could be just a prank, which is, you know, absolutely fine. We've seen TikTok pranks that are worse than this. And this is probably nothing compared to what we're gonna be discussing later, but for now, we're gonna give it a fail. Anyway, let's move over to another clip where Bubble is going to try to sugarcoat exactly what's going on.
To bring the rotten bandits who stole it to sweet, buttery justice.
An entire kingdom of candy sounds sticky.
Very sticky indeed.
Sounds
Bubble, you can't say that.
Now, what I gotta mention here is there were no swear words throughout the entire thing, because throughout the entire show, whenever someone says or the characters will be censored with this censor bar. And that is nowhere to be found around here, meaning whatever Bubble said was completely inappropriate and possibly intentional. Just as a full disclaimer, I'm not the only person that found out about this, so people are probably gonna say that I've copied off of someone else, but let's just ignore all that and let's just give Bubble yet another fail. So we're doing pretty bad right now, but the next one, I don't even have a pun for this one.
That's right! The entire circus tent will be infested with gloinks, and you gotta catch them all!
but what are they?
I'm glad you asked, Bubble. They're small.
And what do they do?
They...
How do they
So, I guess this one needs a little bit of context, doesn't it? The adventure was all about trying to gather the gloinks, where basically they had to go and find the gloinks and try to stop them from stealing stuff from the tent. Kane did luckily cut him off short, but what I think Bubble was trying to say was, how do they replicate? Or how do they reproduce? Or something along those lines. Because near the end of the adventure, they discover the Gloink Queen, which shows how the gloinks are being made. But if Bubble was able to say this entire thing, that would have been a massive spoiler. I mean, I know that the humans don't care, and, you know, quite a lot of us really don't care. We're here to watch mental breakdowns after all. But let's just say for the sake of argument that, yes, they actually did care about this adventure. Imagine you're very excited about this new book coming out, and someone comes over and shows spoilers and ruins all the fun.
Attention shoppers! Voldemort killed Snape!
That's basically what Bubble tried to do, and I don't think this is like an accident anymore. This is pretty malicious and like just downright evil. So that's 3 out of 4 down. This is a massive yikes, but luckily there's a 4th one that I'm pretty sure the majority of you have suppressed from your memories. Well, I am here to bring it back.
Whoa! Clean up on aisle U!
I'm on it, boss. Ow.
Why are you like this?
Now, if I saw someone do this, I would be pretty impressed and I'd probably even gain a little bit of respect. But it's not about me per se. What do you think Kane feels about all this? Oh, and by the way, I wasn't talking about just this one clip. I'm talking about all 4 clips that we have seen. Every time Bubble has interacted with Kane, he goes out of his way to make him mad uncomfortable. Now, contrary to popular belief, it's not exactly normal to make your friend group uncomfortable, just the people around your friend group uncomfortable. But I don't see him as friends, I see him more as co-workers since they're here by obligation after all. Which means they're probably in a very toxic relationship. Why else would Bubble go out of his way to make Kane absolutely miserable? I mean, I don't know, I don't really consider them as friends. Great breaking update! It appears that I was wrong, there's a little dinner scene right over here where they're both having a very good time. So with this one scene, all is forgiven, right? And everything's going great. No. So, what does Bubble have to gain for trying to piss Kane off? Well, there could be a few reasons actually. One is that Kane is a very clueless AI that has no idea that none of his subjects are having any fun. If anything, this is definitely for entertainment, but definitely not for the people in the circus. I mean, heck, he's forcing Jax to do minimum wage labor, albeit without any pay, just like... So with all that being said, Bubble might be just as trapped as the humans are. And for those of you that don't believe me, here's a very iconic line that is funny for a lot of you guys, but this line has got me digging into Bubble in the first place.
Cooked by our head bubble chef.
Made with all the love I'm legally allowed to give.
Because at the beginning, it's like, haha, legally allowed to give. But what is illegal around here? Guns are fine, murder is fine, sadism is fine. So what is illegal per se? Well, the only thing that nobody can do is leave. Well, that and also swearing, but I'm not sure that equates to love when it comes to cooking. However, my actual theory is that Bubble is trying to go out of his way to make Kane so mad that he goes Terminator on everyone else's ass. It's a pretty amazing way to find an exit. Now, why would I say something like that? Well, let's go ahead and analyze the dinner scene real quick.
Oh, Bubble, you always know how to make me say this exact sentence. Gasp! An alert on my wacky watch at this hour?
Clearly what the two of them are doing together has no romantic chemistry whatsoever. And that's fine, that's what a lot of dinners are like, especially when someone else is paying the bill for me. But why go out with someone you actively antagonize? And also, more to the point, dinner is basically just...
We don't need to eat, drink, or sleep in this digital world. So the digital food here only gives off the virtual sensation of eating.
Well, maybe this dinner is a distraction so that someone else can find a way to escape. Because as far as Kane likes to portray himself as an omniscient god, he is anything but.
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen?
Now, a lot of people have caught on that any of the playable characters can be an NPC. I'll let somebody who's more dedicated to the fan base find out for me. But what people haven't really caught on with is that he can actually lose track of NPCs. He could lose track of anything. Any of them could leave and he probably wouldn't be any the wiser. So this dinner is more likely a distraction rather than anything else. So it kind of is a shame that the Wacky Watch was there to kind of stop anyone from escaping.
Someone's venturing out into the void! They'll get totally spoiled!
But that's what's happening. Bubble is trying to find a way out, whether it be to incentivize Kane into stopping this whole thing, to just straight up trying to find the exit. As of the origin of the magical exit door, I have no idea. I don't even trust that Kane made it. So with all that being said, is Bubble actually getting closer and closer to his goal? Well, to answer that question, we need to check on Bubble.
No, thanks. I'm trying to quit.
As of this recording, there are only 2 episodes of Amazing Digital Circus out, and the fact that Bubble has been on screen for 2 minutes and 21 seconds, yes, that includes all the bonus videos as well as even the end credits, there's really not a lot of information to go around. I like to regard myself as a very intelligent person, but this gets to the point where people either insert their own theories or they flame me in the comments, but either way, please give me a comment. But regardless, here are a few theories that I personally have made. Number 1, Bubble knows he could get away with it. Now, I know that Bubble has done a lot of things to Kane, but Kane just forgets about it just as easily. One moment he's mad and the next thing he's focused on the adventures. And at worst, Kane can just pop him, but it's been confirmed that Bubble likes being popped. This could probably mean that Bubble is one step closer to his goal, or he's just derping around casually while trying to find the exit. I mean, also, he could try to get the show canceled, and I mean, you could say all this stuff and get away with it. And I mean, you know, why wouldn't you, right? Number 2, Bubble is a human. And I know the wiki says that he is an AI, but it's a fan wiki. It's not exactly confirmed. Although that same exact wiki was the one that confirmed that Bubble actually likes getting popped, so I mean, you ignore that. But one thing that I would like to mention is that there is a meet the team, and Kane is right over there, is not introduced. Bubble is here and is introduced, so I don't know. Does that mean that Kane is not exactly part of the gang and that Bubble is, even though Bubble is not? I mean, it's like analyzing the plush videos in hopes for more lore. I mean, it's like, I'm pretty sure they don't even focus on that. But last and certainly not least, this one's probably my favorite. He is an NPC. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh yeah, he's an AI. Of course he's an NPC. But no, I mean like literally an NPC that has been forgotten. He probably had a lot of spite towards Kane, especially considering that Kane really did not give a crap about NPCs. He literally just went on Gummy Goo. And if Kane's willing to do that on precious Gummy Goo, how would he treat all the other NPCs? That and the fact that he couldn't even keep track of his own NPCs. This just makes too much sense. So if Bubble were to say, for example, a forgotten NPC who he's like very rightfully angry towards Kane, then, you know, this could be, this could get very messy indeed. All of these are just spitballs, and I'm pretty sure they all have a varying degree of absurdity and reaching outness and all of that stuff. But at least we can all agree that Bubble is completely sane. Am I right, guys? Am I? As a side note, this was supposed to be who is Bubble doing, but I want to be as family friendly as possible while talking about mental torment. So now the real question becomes, what happens now? What is Bubble going to do? And I don't know. And that's why I love Bubble so much. At worst, he just torments Kane, which is a win for me. But with the sheer unpredictability of Bubble and the possibilities on what Bubble can actually do is amazing. He's kind of doing things on the sidelines, but honestly, I think he's going to become a major factor to the show. And whether or not Bubble is this madman that I describe, only time will tell. So go on, Bubble. Do your absolute worst. I'll be ready for you.